Beck program met a lot of interesting people the other day at ACORN's 39th anniversary party. It was on Wednesday night. One of them was a polite, soft-spoken woman who introduced herself as Heather Booth. Watch this.
Your name?
Heather Booth.
Heather, are you with ACORN?
I'm for building a better society and a better world. And the folks in that room are part of the people who help build a better world.
Does it concern you at all that the folks in there are under investigation for voter fraud issues?
No, there are all sorts of charges. I'm familiar with their work. I'm pleased about the work that they're doing, and I also think that where there have been problems, they took the steps to clean up the problems.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so who is this woman? She seems like a nice enough woman. How is she tied to ACORN? And ACORN implies that there is a tree. So let's look at the tree and not the nut. Matthew Vadum is with me. He's with the Capital Research Center. He has been working on tangling the twisted web of ACORN, and he's been working with us for a while. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hello. Good
to see you. Okay, take me here because I want to show this tree. Heather Booth, she seems like a nice enough lady.
She does.
She does. But she's actually very important, isn't she?
She's a true believer, Kool-Aid drinker.
Okay. This is the tree, America, that you have to understand, and there's a reason you need to understand this. Saul Alinsky, he was the big guy who said, hey, community organizing and really revolutionary to take us where?
To take us in an effort to make America into a socialist country.
Okay, good. He led right to SDS, which is?
Students for a Democratic Society, a radical new left group from the 1960s, very into like Leninist-style street protests and raging against the system, whatever the system is.
Okay. Started by Paul Booth. Relation?
Paul Booth and others started Students for a Democratic Society. Tom Hayden, you know, Jane Fonda's former
But relation
husband.
To Heather Booth?
That is, Paul is Heather's husband.
So the lady you just met is this guy. And out of SDS came Wade Rathke, who started ACORN.
He was a draft resistance organizer for SDS, you know, burning draft cards, inciting people.
Bill Ayers.
Bill Ayers was with Students for a Democratic Society, got tired of waiting for the war in Vietnam to end, so decided to declare war on the system.
Got it. So this is where it split, America. This is one side went violent, the other side went nonviolent. But it's the same tree. It's the same socialist nonsense. If you look up here, you can see Heather Booth kind of went this way, Bill Ayers went this way. But they're all connected. Anybody who says, well, he just knows Bill Ayers and, you know, he was just a neighbor of Bill Ayers. Well, he knows Heather. He knows Wade Rathke. He knows all of these people, and they all come from the same place. Now, here's where ACORN is, all by itself. What's up here?
Those are the money men and women who shower ACORN with funds, like George Soros, the liberal billionaire, and the toxic mortgage king and queen, Herb and Marion Sandler. Various celebrities, such as Roseanne Barr and Barbara Streisand, fund ACORN as well through their charities.
Okay. Remember, violent, nonviolent, but all socialist, all a revolution of our country. ACORN, this is why this is important. Barack Obama, we've never known who he is, right? He's FDR, he's JFK, he's Lincoln. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's a community organizer. Correct me if you think I'm wrong.
No, that's right.
There are new acorns growing on the tree. This one's called AmeriCorps.
AmeriCorps, which just got a multi-billion-dollar injection of cash from Congress.
Right. And it is, my theory is that Barack Obama is building a country, almost software. It's like the Matrix. It's running on top of the software of the Constitution or the Republic that we have. He's got a new framework. There's a new skeleton being built slowly but surely and invisibly. Well, not so invisibly. You can see it. It's there, but nobody cares to look at it.
It's a new radical left-wing political infrastructure. And so by creating these structures and funding them with tax dollars, that's the easiest way to grow them, you create a loyal army of followers. It also happens to be the Chicago way of graft and corruption. That's how you build support support and maintain it.
Okay, just real quick, correct me if I'm wrong. National Welfare Rights Organization, that's on the nonviolent side.
That's
their idea was to have structure, to build this infrastructure there, then collapse the economy so that structure could rise in place of the United States government.
That's right. They wanted to replace it with a socialist system, guaranteed income for everyone. Okay. And Wade Rathke was part of the welfare rights movement, founded ACORN.
Okay, want to just say that again. In the 1960s, the idea was to create a structure, kind of like what we were just talking about, create a structure, an infrastructure, then collapse the economy of the United States so that structure would be in place. 1960s theory. Sure, that's not what's on anybody's mind.
This is not, as I've said previously on the show, this is not some wild-eyed conspiracy theory. Cloward and Piven wrote this in their article in The Nation in 1966.
From Columbia University.
They inspired a new movement. They inspired a movement. And I should just note that AmeriCorps also has been investigated by Congress in the past, because in 1997 a congressional committee found that ACORN was abusing AmeriCorps' resources.
Okay.
ACORN used their people, volunteers, to do political campaigns.
Okay, got it. Thank you very much. And remember one thing, the story we've been covering about the Inspector General that was fired from America.